Why do people want to watch pornography on the internet so much? After a while it does become an addiction. We get drawn in there, and after a while we can't stop ourselves. Okay, you can stop yourself. There's other doorways you can go through. Or maybe other windows on the net. So first of all, you've got to know it's a problem, and then do something to stop it. Obviously, one of the reasons why people get addicted is also there's a pleasure to it as well. And I was very fascinated to see the way the Buddha looked at sensuality by saying, yeah, there's a pleasure there, but there's also a payback afterwards. And the Buddhas, this is 25 centuries ago, he compared such sensuality like to borrowing money, taking out a loan. Which is actually very deep and profound, because when, say, you are watching pornography, or getting into some sort of sensuality, there's a lot of joy there at the beginning, but often we have to pay it back afterwards. And sometimes, like a loan, the only way you can pay it back is by taking out another loan to pay off the original debt, and the loan gets bigger and bigger and bigger until one gets into such a great financial mess there's no way that you can actually pay back your loan. And that is actually just a beautiful description of addiction, and actually how it happens, because we get sort of some pleasure back in the first, and then to get some more pleasure we have to do it again, but even more intense, and then more intense next time, until the pleasure, the only way we can get that pleasure is taking bigger and bigger doses of the drug, until we're really, really in a great debt. It's a very profound description of actually what addiction is and how it happens. And so the understanding that, please don't get that deep into any addiction that you get caught into such a debt trap. But it's also understanding that there are other pleasures in this world, not just the sensory pleasures. And it's true, the pleasures of just your family, friendship, romantic love rather than sexual love. Those other pleasures should also be recognized and should be emphasized, because it's the other pleasures can be used as a substitute for the instant gratification of some sensuality. So if you are addicted to some types of that sensuality, not just mindfulness, but give yourself another reward, another thing which is a bit more skillful than the one before. So that way that we can actually, we're not condemning sensuality, nor are we trying to prohibit sensuality by covering everybody up in a burqa or by saying it's evil. We're actually dealing with it in a wise way, so we can find our middle way. We don't go to extremes, so we have a means of stopping ourselves going to those extremes. We have gone to those extremes. We try and maybe learn a little bit of meditation so our mindfulness becomes more clear, so we can actually stop ourselves before we get to that point.